Mayaz, symbol. Thing that exists outwardly and is visible to a human eye is called majaz, symbol. The apparent value and power that is invisible do not inherently belong to that thing, but are granted by Allah. In contrast, hakikat, reality, refers to the real actor behind the activities in this universe, that is, Allah Almighty. For example, eating food may, apparently, majaz, be considered as a source of strength, but in reality, hakikat, that strength is granted by Allah. Without His will and command, it is impossible to get care from food. Where the care could be in digesting that food efficiently, or care maybe to vomit out that food, as food plays a major role in developing emotions and decisions of a human being. Care is to be with Allah, whether by eating healthy and pure food, or vomiting out the food that has been under the harmful influence that can disrupt one's emotions and urge him to lose his temper, or perform an act that's not liked by Sharia. The effect of food on the human soul and lataif will be further discussed in upcoming videos. The journey from majaz to hakikat refers to the stages one goes through to recognize his true Lord. After this, a person stops attributing the completion of tasks to metaphors or outward means, and instead firmly believes that it is through the mercy and grace of the true owner, Allah, that things are accomplished. There are many ways to undertake this journey, but when it is navigated through Nafs, one has to pass through various stages of Nafs. Just like a child grows from birth to awareness and begins to understand life under the influence of his environment, he sets a goal for his life and adopts strategies to achieve it by shaping his actions accordingly. For instance, if someone desires wealth and his nafs is still at the stage of nafsi amara, then he will try every possible method to obtain wealth without differentiating between lawful, halal, and unlawful, haram, even if it means picking pockets or taking a life in exchange for money. This means he is still dependent on majaz and unaware of hakikat. He seeks his goals through superficial means rather than trusting Allah. But when the consciousness awakens and one reaches the stage of nafsi lawama, the self-reproaching self, he begins to turn to Allah. He starts realizing that his goals are being fulfilled through lawful means with the help of Allah. Then, he feels remorse over his previous mistakes. He begins to blame himself, and this blame also comes from family, friends, and even within himself. The blame coming from society adheres to the saying of Allah, "If you take one step towards me, I will take 10 steps to you in return." It means to come closer to Allah's mercy and power. So, this additional blaming helps a person to quickly adapt and improve himself. His flaws become evident to all, and he feels truly remorseful. By embracing this self-blame and admitting the mistakes, he invites the mercy of Allah to rectify his nafs and help him to get rid of habits that are not liked by Sharia. Then, he receives inner peace by the mercy of Allah. This leads to travel towards the final level of nafs, that is nafs-e mutmainna, the contented self. At this level, nafs becomes satisfied with the oneness of Allah and believes that the best way to live this life is through Sharia, which is liked by Allah and His last prophet, Hazrat Muhammad, peace be upon him. Now, the person has achieved this faith on one of his goals. That might be earning wealth, doing graduation, or getting married. Allah now bestows honor and knowledge upon him. He begins to see his goals being fulfilled effortlessly. Things that once worried him start happening on their own. He now feels assured that Allah is with him. This marks the beginning of the stage of nafs-e razia, the recognizing self. At this point, even though he makes the right efforts and feels at peace with them, difficulties begin to appear for his current goal or objective, and he starts encountering unpleasant things in life. For example, a person is willing to get married. He fulfills all the conditions for marriage, but still he remains unable to do so. That might be because of society, family, or friends. This hardship is just to test him, whether he will stay firm or he leaves the path of Sharia. These hardships help him to recognize that there exists a divine power which is changing the course of timeline. And these decisions are taken in account of a broader view of his life. He starts to recognize that his objective is greater than what he has thought of, and the things are moving in the right direction. Once he accepts that every hardship that befalls him is enclosed in Allah's knowledge, then he stays content in Allah's plan and accepts his decree and awaits patiently for the help from Allah. When he remains steadfast in these trials and accepts Allah's plan, he reaches the level of Nafs Marzia, the agreed self. He agrees with the process that he is going through, and now he builds a firm belief that surely Allah is going to award him soon. At this stage, his desires are taken into account, and he is awarded far more than what he ever wished for. His patience transforms into gratitude, and he begins to thank Allah for the blessings he has awarded. These small achievements and rewards help him to attain real satisfaction, and he achieves the closeness to Allah and considers Allah is with him. In this way, a person ascends through these spiritual stages and completes his faith. However, he might have to go through a journey again for his new objective. That could be securing a job after he has graduated. Instead of being grateful for the blessings, if he becomes arrogant and boastful, then he is once again subjected to blame and reproach to bring them back to the right path.